tried asking the gluten, but gluten, do you really need to rest now? Couldn't you wait 5 minutes and go into the refrigerator rolled out? Gluten said, I'm good with it.
Okay.
I'm Dan Souza, and we are in the test kitchen. Today, I am joined by beloved cookbook author, food scientist, and ATK editor-in-residence, Nick Sharma. Nick, I could talk to you all day.
So could I. I mean, I could talk to you all day long about the most irrelevant things and the most relevant things in food.
We did a really fun Substack conversation the other day. I think it was like over an hour. And we were just like geeking out on science. We got like into so many different savory things that we really love. We talked about chemical reactions we love. It was definitely nerding out. We could do that again, but I kind of want to shift gears a little bit. Mm-hmm. You and I don't think ever talked about our like sweet preferences and desserts that we really like. And I don't even know if you're like a big sweets person. So I want to start there. Are you a big sweets person?
Oh my gosh, that's why I got into food.
Really?
I have a huge sweet tooth. Yeah, I wake up in the morning, I need to have something sweet. I go to bed at night, I need something sweet.
You bookend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best way, right? Like you start your day with something fun that you love, and you end it with that.
I love that. My favorite way of bookending is I come from like a pie family.
Okay.
My mom and my grandmother, big pie bakers. And when someone has made like a beautiful strawberry rhubarb pie or sour cherry, something like that, you have it for breakfast because it makes so much sense for breakfast.
Okay.
And then you have it for dessert after dinner. And that is like, that's bookending that I like. But I'm not a big sweets in the morning person usually. So what do you normally have?
Okay, so I need a little jam or marmalade. Mm-hmm. I need a thick slab of salted butter.
Okay, yeah.
On toast.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't need the egg. I don't need oatmeal. I'm actually not a big breakfast person, but if I have to do it, that's how
you have to do it.
Or even honey.
You like it or don't like honey?
Even honey, like I'll do honey on toast with butter. That's good.
Are you like specific? Do you go for like a certain kind of bread for your toast? Is this just sort of like where Nick is like, whatever?
Okay, so this defies logic, and I probably shouldn't tell people I do this, but I will. Okay, so I get keto bread.
Keto bread.
And then I put butter on it, and then I put jam or honey. So it kind of defeats the whole logic.
Yeah.
But there's this bread that we get at our grocery store. The texture is just so nice. It's whole grain. Uh-huh. You can feel kind of the quinoa and all just like, it's like running through your mouth, if that makes sense, when you take a bite.
Yeah.
And then that sweetness comes in there. But it is keto. It is weird that you put jam and keto bread together, but it works.
So how did you come so you love it for its texture and sort of its heartiness, but like how did you come to that bread in the first place?
Just random.
Just random.
Just random. I think there was probably no bread that I want. I don't remember exactly the story, but I think there were no other options available, and I bought this and I said, oh, Carbonaut. It's called Carbonaut. Carbonaut, like astronaut, Carbonaut. And
like an astronaut, but like you don't get to have carbs.
Yeah,
sort of. Okay.
But I'm adding carbs to it, so it's illogical, but it makes sense to me, and I think I just came across it because there were no other options at the store.
Yeah, I do like when you're eating something that is like filled with seeds and nuts, and that like it's unabashedly like healthy and like.
It makes you feel better.
Nutrition, like it's like we're not even trying to pretend. Versus something that's like we use white whole wheat flour and we're sort of tricking you with it. Like it's nice to know what it actually is. So I think I would probably like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I do not like a white slice of white bread.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
Yeah,
like grilled cheese.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, with American cheese and just like, super. Okay, but so in the real like dessert category of things, like, so I'm a self-professed like pie person. I think pie is like a perfect food. What is it for you?
Cake and ice cream.
Cake and ice cream.
Cake and ice cream. I'll tell you what flavors also if you want. Okay.
Oh my God, that's my next question.
It has to be something that's really tart.
Okay.
With both. So with cake, I really like passion fruit or lemon curd inside, or even like a pineapple curd, mango curd, because it's tart.
Yeah.
In ice cream, oh gosh, like I need the same thing replicated. And because it's hard to find those, I just make it myself.
And specifically ice cream that is tart, not like a sorbet or something like that.
I need like that richness. I like the ice creams that are made with buttermilk and cream cheese.
Yeah.
And then because they can hold up to that acid, then you can throw in lemon curd, put in more lemon juice, passion fruit. I like that a lot.
So is that's really interesting to me because I think I love like a fruit pie obviously that has like acidity there, but if I'm going ice cream and cake, I want the like I want vanilla with some stuff in it, and I want like, vanilla and chocolate cake, like the sort of classic. There's very low acidity there. They're kind of almost overwhelming. And then I need like a glass of milk or something to sort of balance it out. But I feel like you are a big acid guy, and I don't mean that you are that kind of acid guy. I mean, I think you really love acidity. We talked. You sort of were almost poetic in your love for tamarind in talking about that. Does that kind of just flow through everything for you?
Yeah, I feel like even here when I'm in the test kitchen testing recipes, we're always trying to cut back on the amount of acid that I put in my dishes.
Oh, really?
I'm low on salt.
Yeah.
I really don't use a lot of salt in cooking, but I find acid kind of compensates for that. But I feel the brightness just brings everything together. It makes things stand out more. And I feel with desserts, I learned flavor pairing with desserts. That's where I started in the world of cooking. And so like with ice cream, for example, that's a great place because it's a blank slate. And then you start like tinkering with things a little bit, and you can just like add one thing, see how it feels, add a second thing in there, see how it feels.
Yeah.
And then maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And I think with ice cream, I have publicly also said, if like someone asked me once, if you are with your mother, would you share dessert with her? And I said, and it was the last thing. And I said, no, because if it's ice cream, it probably will be ice cream, and no.
You're not sharing it with your
No.
mom?
Like you're on your own, because why would I, right? Like I feel like mothers are supposed to sacrifice for their child. So in this situation,
other way
everything
around.
else I would give, but
Yeah.
ice cream, no.
Not ice cream.
Luckily, she doesn't have a sweet tooth, so it works out.
Yeah. Wait, but I also want to back up because someone asked you that question.
Yeah, it was like a couple of years ago. I don't know it was something about.
They're like, would you share dessert with your mom?
And it was like your last day on the planet or something. And I said, no, I mean, still no.
The last day on the planet. And will you share ice cream? Will you share dessert with your mom? I mean, I'm going to steal that interview question. That's a real one.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah. But I love that. That really speaks to your love of ice cream. I'm a huge ice cream guy. I've talked about this at different times, but I actually went to ice cream college. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So I went to the Penn State ice cream short course. This was many years ago, and I've been back a couple of times. And it's like I think it's like 10 or 12 days in the middle of January, this deep dive into the science of ice cream.
Okay.
And you get to check out all these old school machines and new machines. And it's just like such a treat. There's something about ice cream that is like, it's perfect to me because it is both like this crazy science experiment, right? It's like a foam and an emulsion. There's like freezing point depression. You can like really geek out on it. But at the end of the day, like it is like the simplest joy. Like everyone loves
Joy.
it.
I think that's
It's just joy.
Yeah. And it's like biting into a frozen cloud.
Yes.
And then it slides and melts in your mouth. And I am really crazy. I have 5 ice cream machines at home.
5?
Yeah. And they're placed in different locations just in case one like breaks down. So I've got the ones where you take the canister and you freeze it separately.
Yes.
I don't use those a lot anymore.
Yep.
But then I have the other big ones which just freeze it, do the whole thing
The
process.
self-refrigerating ones.
Yeah, and I have like, if this breaks down, then I have another one. And then if that breaks down, we have another one. I just need to move them to out of my residence. So like if something happens to the house,
Yes.
we have another one. Like
You have an ice cream machine that is off-site, like in a secure location.
I need to do that.
You need to do that.
I need to do that. That's the next step.
Okay, so you're like a prepper, but only when it comes to like ice cream machines. Yeah. Nick, you're a true one. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, ice cream makes me passionate. It brings out the passion.
Ice cream always has done that for me, and it's something that you can always play with and kind of keep growing with and all this kind of stuff. But now I feel so inadequate. I need to get way more ice cream machines at home.
You do.
And we need to make some ice cream and eat some ice cream together.
I keep pitching.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do it. Well, Nick, it is really appropriate that we geeked out on sweets today and ice cream because I am so thrilled to welcome an absolute icon in the baking space. Today we have someone who is a 5 times James Beard Award winner. She's a cake and cookie whisperer. You know her and love her. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dorie Greenspan. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Dorie, welcome to the Test Kitchen.
I am so happy to be here. The last time I was in the test kitchen, you weren't here.
I missed that day.
No, not even you. Oh, yes, you missed that day, and I'm sorry, but no, it was the other location,
Yes. Well, yes, we had a much
like a house.
house compared to where we are now. Yeah. So that was about probably 7 years ago. We moved into this new space, And we went from, the numbers tell a crazy story. So our test kitchen space in that old space that you went to was 2,500 square feet. That's where we filmed the TV show. We did all of our testing, everything. Now we have 17,000 square feet of test kitchen space. With 2 studios, where we're sitting in this studio.
17,000.
Isn't that wild?
It's over 2 buildings, right?
It feels like it's
spans-
over 2 buildings, but yes, it kind of crosses this little barrier there. But yeah,
Fabulous.
it is amazing. And it allowed us to do so much more. Like the space was really sort of containing us too much. And so, yeah, we just became, we filled it out. And now it's like we can do whatever we want, which is really wonderful.
We
And
also
you do
get
such good
lost.
things. Thank you for
thank you.
having me. I'm happy to be here.
Dorie, this is
really
such,
happy.
This is such an honor. Well, we are so happy to have you. As you can tell, I'm wearing my
French blues.
My French blues today. Doing my best to copy the Dorie look. You are just like such an icon. This is like such an absolute treat to have you here.
I'm only 5'4".
You feel about like 7'2" or so, I will say. So I do this thing on the show where I choose a tea for each of my guests, and I try to choose a tea that really lines up with what I know of the person and just kind of expresses how I feel about them. So for you, you are kind of a rarefied icon in my mind. And so I went deep into my specialty tea collection, and I have a tea today that is actually from 1990. So it is 35 years old. And most tea does not get better with age. You want to drink it when it's pretty fresh within that same sort of season. This is a raw pu'er, and it is designed to ferment. So it's basically a green tea, and they keep it in a very climate-controlled setting, a lot of high humidity, just allow fermentation to take place. And what you get is this elegance. It's like, I'm not going to describe it too much because I want you to just taste it and see what you think. But you can see I'm going to pour it in these nice little cups here.
I'm so touched.
Well, we are so excited to have you. So I pour a little in here so we can see the color.
Thank you.
There you go. One for Nick.
Thank you.
One for me. And then we can do this, and then Nick's got a little taste of something there too. So first, I like to take a nice big smell. It's got some of those black tea,
Yes.
malty sort of qualities there.
But also a touch floral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely floral.
It's also kind of sweet, right? The aroma is slightly sweet.
Like a little bit honeyed.
It's so low. Thank you.
Isn't it so nice? So it's got that brisk kind of quality that you love, like from a black tea. For me, I get some of that floral quality still there, but the finish is just very long.
It's cool. At the end, there's like a cooling
Oh yeah,
feeling on the back of your tongue.
a little mentholy.
Yeah.
35 years old.
35 years old. Isn't that incredible? And so I procured this tea from a place called Grand Tea and Imports in New York's Chinatown, and I was with another icon, Grace Young.
Oh.
So this is like a memory tea for me and everything. But you are such a special, just part of the food world. And so,
Did anybody tell you that I cry easily?
oh no.
Yeah, you better be careful. This is.
Well, I will stop. I will stop with the gushing. But it is such a treat to have you here. And I'm so excited to pour this tea for you. But Nick also brought a little treat.
And I feel like for Dorie Greenspan, I couldn't bring a cake. Or a cookie, because it'll be foolish to bring someone who's an expert at that. So I thought, why not bring something that I've been working on for a couple of months? These are persimmons that are dried, and the Japanese make hoshigaki. And it tastes like a date. I've been drying these for about 2 to 2.5 months and massaging them. And I brought them here today. They'll taste like dates. They're not that sweet. They're not sour. They're very pleasant.
They're also beautiful.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. Because it's closest to me, even though they're yours, I'll serve.
Thank you.
Or you can always serve.
They are beautiful. So shriveled,
Right.
and they have this white on the outside that you see on like a dry cured sausage.
Yeah, and that's the sugar bloom.
That's the sugar bloom. Okay.
Yeah, so it's considered like the best hoshigaki. They say have the sugar bloom. My first batch wasn't the best. The second batch got the sugar bloom, so I'm really proud of these.
So when you're massaging them, it's to move the liquid that's still inside around?
Yes,
or
to help break the pectin inside, because the fruit by itself it's not something you can really bite into and enjoy. It's astringent and hard. And so the way you do it, you blanch them in hot boiling water, peel the skin off. Actually, you peel the skin off and then blanch them in hot water, and then you just hang them to dry. And then within a week, it'll form a thin skin, and then after that you can start massaging, and it's shocking. It starts to turn into this little balloon of juice, but you have to be careful not to bust it.
Because all the pectin sort of just breaks down. So it's just like barely held in that little balloon.
And it's doing this thing. And one interesting fact that I learned, people don't think there's fermentation happening, but there are lactobacilli or something outside, and they named it after Hoshigaki, and it's called Hoshigaki something.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. I'm not so good in science as I took I took math and science for poets in college, right? So, but
Specifically for poets?
What is that?
I don't think they do it any longer. But it was for people who were,
In the arts.
people who just couldn't do math and science. So I can't talk about the fact. But this is delicious. That's the word I have for it.
Yeah.
there
Well,
should
that's the
be-
most important
That's the
part.
yeah, like if you hated it, then
So my mother, who did not cook or bake, had things that she just loved. She loved food, and there were things that she really looked forward to. And a persimmon was one of them. And she would, they were not the, I'm going to say keki, but that's not it. They were the kind
For
of
you?
that shape, not the round ones. We never saw the round ones as kids. And she would buy them unripe. It was the only way you could get them. And then she would put them on the counter and she would look at them. She would watch them day by day. And when they would get dark and ugly and soft, she'd look around, was anybody in the kitchen? And she would eat these over the kitchen sink because they were so juicy and so drippy. And the skin held, and there would be that pulp that you would. I'm just in love with persimmons, and I think maybe from that memory of my mother loving them so much and really enjoying them, they were such a pleasure for her. I can't imagine what she would think of it.
Well, this is almost like a fast tracking it to get to that super jammy texture. I love that. That's like me with a peach in the summertime over the sink.
When you can get a good peach, it's not
Yes.
easy to get a good peach.
It's not easy.
oh, real? Oh, okay. I'm from California. So.
Oh, you.
But mangoes,
California people.
mangoes do it for me. Like eating ripe
Oh,
mango
yeah.
over the sink.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling in the world. It's messy. It's falling over your hands. It's on the floor. It's just worth it.
Mangoes and peaches, I think, when they're perfect, they're unreal. They're so good.
These two, thanks, guys.
Well, thank you for coming. There's so much to talk about. I want to start. You kind of you got there already with your mom and not really being a baker, but
Sorry.
or was that the understatement of the year? But you had cake around at
Always
home.
had cake.
Yeah.
Always had. So we lived in Brooklyn. We lived many places because as soon as the house needed anything, my father would say, "Time to move." So we never lived through a paint job, right? My mother came home one afternoon and my father was sitting in the dark and said, "We have to move." Fuse blew. But in the house that we lived in for the longest amount of time in Brooklyn, there were 3 bakeries on the main shopping street. And my mother would buy bread from one bakery, always had bakery bread every day. She'd buy a cake from the second one, and she would buy cookies from the third.
I love it.
And so we always had, and she had a sweet tooth, and she had good taste. And so we always had cake. We never, unless my grandmother came, and brought something she had baked, we never had anything home baked.
Wow.
Yeah, she didn't bake. It took me until just a couple of years ago to even think of anything that she cooked.
Really? Anything at all? Wow. So, but she had good taste. So she wasn't making it, but
No,
was
she had
exposing you to really good
She
things.
had great taste, and she loved to go out. So, I would come home from school, and she'd say, "Let's get in the car," and we would go and we would have steamers at this seafood place about half an hour from
My
the house.
favorite.
Steamers.
Yes.
Or we used to have these fried clam sandwiches in the summer that we would have to drive almost an hour for. But she just loved that. She loved the adventure. She loved food. She just didn't want to be the one to make it.
Yeah. That's so interesting. And do you feel like part of you getting into baking was you had the taste for it, but there was no one making it that actually was supplying you with it? Because in my case, my mom is an amazing baker, and I steered more into savory. I was like, what's the point? She's going to make all this amazing stuff. So I never really got into
But
that.
you grew up with someone cooking at home and baking at home.
Yes.
Nick, you too?
My story is like yours. My mother will not walk into the kitchen. She doesn't get it. She doesn't like it. Yeah. So I maybe I overcompensate for that because I went into desserts too when I started my career in food because no one was baking a cake. Like maybe she would pick one up from the bakery, like your mother did, but it wasn't a thing. My grandmother, on the other hand, phenomenal baker, loved baking, loved cooking. So a lot of what I've learned is actually through her.
My grandmother died when I was uninterested in food. I mean, I was in high school. I couldn't imagine myself, being in the kitchen. But I can taste. I can't recreate, but I can taste what she made. I started baking, so I love the idea of having sweets in the house. I feel like it's welcoming.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Somebody comes to the house and you've got something sweet to give them. I mean, I feel super, super welcome. But I started baking because I got married when I was 19 years old, so I was in college.
Wow.
And I hadn't cooked, no surprise. And there was, my husband had his first job. I was a student. We had no money. It wasn't like we could go out.
Sure.
And so I learned, but I was excited about learning to cook. I really wanted to cook. And I wanted to cook for the same reason that I wanted to have cake in the house. I wanted to be able to welcome people to the house and have people around the table. And so I taught myself to cook. That first London bake that was supposed to be broiled, that was tough as could be. Yeah, but I mean, eventually I got there. And I baked because I loved sweets and because there's something about, we're all sitting around, we're having dinner. It's a great evening, we're talking, and you want it to go on. It's just that, you want the conversation to continue. You want to continue to have your friends around you. And bringing out something baked is the real treat at the end of a meal, and it also keeps people together.
Wow, I love that so much. Yeah, and I feel like you can cook a whole meal and sit down and it's gone in like 15 minutes,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Like
there's that.
People eat so fast that but I think dessert is different, and having that sort of extender there makes a lot of sense to me.
It took me a long time to get over it only takes 15 minutes to eat dinner.
Yeah.
I was so resentful. I mean, I'm lucky, and I bet you guys are too, in that I love the process of making something in the kitchen.
Yes.
So I enjoy that as much as having the food. But still, I mean, you're in there 2 or 3 hours, you're cooking away, you're so excited, you've set the table, everybody sits down, and
Gone.
it used to make me so angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got over it.
Is that why you moved to France for a little while? And
Where dinners last forever. I love that.
it is a beautiful thing. Yeah. Well, so you are finished and touring for a really wonderful new cookbook. Is this your 14th cookbook?
So as of today, I am not finished.
Oh, you're not finished. They're never really finished, I suppose.
Oh, please don't say that. Yeah. So it's my 15th book.
15th
My
cookbook.
15th cookbook. Yeah, even I can't believe it.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
really.
But so this time you decided to focus on
Cakes.
Yeah. And I feel like Dorie and cookies is always like this like super strong. I actually brought my copy of book in for you to sign there. But why cakes this time? What sort of inspired you to make this your 15th book?
So I was thinking, I wasn't even sure I was going to write I wasn't sure I was going to write a 14th book either. When I got to 13, I thought, baker's dozen.
Nice way to close it out.
Yeah. But you know how it is when you have an idea and it just keeps building and you get excited about it. And so I did a story for the New York Times a couple of years ago for the holidays. And they wanted cakes for the holidays. And I said, I don't really do that kind of thing. Because when I think of a holiday cake, I think of frosting and decorations.
Yes, quite formal.
I make really simple simple cakes. I mean, I know how to make layer cakes, and I know how to make frosting, but the cakes I love are really simple. And so I made 3 simple cakes for them. And then I just couldn't get the idea out of my head. I kept thinking about what I like, and I realized that I really like simple things. So I made a wedding cake
Oh, wow.
once.
Once is
Okay.
enough.
Right? I made a cake in the shape of Darth Vader.
I was very excited to learn about that.
But for Joshua, our son's 4th birthday, it was, may the 4s be with you.
Is there a photo of that somewhere?
There's somewhere, this is before we were taking pictures of,
Everything,
Everything. I think there's a picture of my husband, Michael, and Joshua with the cake. And there's also a picture we put, this is more than you need to know, but we put Joshua against a white paper and traced him. And then he became Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, and we painted him in. And those were the decorations for the
that's
birthday
so
party.
fun.
Yeah. And the cake, sculpted once. I don't do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, what do? I make simple cakes. It's the thing I come back to all the time. Come to the house, there'll be a bundt cake. Come to the house, there'll be a loaf cake.
Yeah.
And so that's where and the thought of my mother, who always had, as I said, cakes and fresh bread and all, but there was always a cake on the counter.
Yeah, well, it's so welcoming. And also, simple cakes I think that's 2025. Like, that's what everyone is going to want, Like, the fancy ones are wonderful, but something you can put together, in short time and just enjoy.
And just
like a little spark.
So I love the idea of a cake that, when it comes to cookies, I like the idea of a cookie jar. You open the jar, you reach right in, you get a cookie. It's like this great treat. With cakes, I like the idea of a counter cake, of a kitchen cake, of an. The book is called Dorie's Anytime Cakes because I like the idea of a cake you can have anytime, and so that you could go into the kitchen and just cut off a slice.
Yeah, that's
right?
the best.
Walk out nibbling, come back, right? Cut a slice. So it's that same kind.
And finish the cake by the end of the day, even though you're one piece at a time. Totally.
Just a little nibble.
Keep shaving it off.
Yeah.
I'm a funny cutter. I've never really learned. My husband does all the cutting in the house. When I cut, it slants. Which way? Yeah, this way. And so I always have to come back to try and straighten it.
That's a great technique. I'm just cleaning up the edges, folks.
That's right. I just want it to look good for the next person.
Yeah. Well, so Dorie, you blew my mind. I don't know how many years ago this was, with a technique not about cake but about pie dough. And this is going to lead into talking about technique because Nick and I are both huge technique geeks. So pie dough, normally you make your pie dough, you make it into this little 3-inch disc, and then you chill it, and then you take it out, and you have to beat this thing up, almost with a
rolling pin beater.
You got to beat it to get it out, and you're trying to get it out to, let's say, 12 inches. And you did this simple but brilliant thing where you made the dough, you rolled it up, maybe not all the way to 12 inches, but let's say 9 inches, and then you chilled it. And you were like, you don't have to do it this other way. And it was duh, but I thought that was so brilliant.
This could be the second time in just a few minutes that you could make me cry. So I said to you, no science, no math, no anything. I did this, and I thought, I'm going to get killed for this. All the real people who know about it are going to say, you can't do that. But I could never figure out why you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So scientists, we would make the dough, right? Be careful not to overwork it. Make it into a disc, pat it down, and let it relax. We're letting the gluten relax, right? Then we're beating it up, which can't be good for it.
Good for anyone.
And then rolling it out. And I thought, I tried asking the gluten, but it didn't answer me. I thought, gluten, do you really need to rest now? Couldn't you wait 5 minutes and go into the refrigerator rolled out? Gluten said, I'm good with it.
Okay.
I mean, because if you think
answer.
about it, right? You're working the dough, you're activating whatever, right? So what if you take couple of minutes more and just roll it out.
Yeah.
And thank you. I felt like I was cheating or like a heretic or something.
No, I think it was a cheat code.
But I think that's what makes you iconic, right? Like you're defying the norm. And I think that's what makes all these things stand out. Like even in the book, like I was reading a couple of things and I said, oh, interesting, like the paradise cake.
Yeah.
The cornstarch. You've got cake flour and cornstarch, and I've never seen anyone use both.
But so
It's fascinating.
So allow me. When I worked with Julia Child,
The best way to start any sentence.
so that was after the tea was born.
Wow.
But so it was 1995. And so it was for Baking with Julia, and we had all these pastry chefs and bread bakers coming to Julia's house to work. And a lot of the chefs who came needed pastry flour. And we didn't, was it pastry flour or cake flour? It was cake flour, I guess. And we were trying to keep things really simple and just have one kind of flour. And they said, well, you can substitute, I've forgotten what it is. I think you take a cup of flour and you take off 2 tablespoons and you replace the tablespoons with cornstarch.
Yeah.
And so it makes it,
The ratios change.
You lower the gluten potential in there. Yeah.
notice I neither said ratio nor gluten.
Sorry. Well, you do talk to gluten. You did talk to
I
gluten
did-
at some point.
Yeah, that's a little different from actually. And so, but this was a cake that that I found out about in Italy, and I was surprised by that too, because it's not just like a little bit of cornstarch, but it makes the sponges so lovely. It's really nice.
That's the first thing I'm going to bake from your book.
Yeah.
May I take away your image of me as an icon? Let me spoil it for you.
I don't know. You're going to have to do some real work
I'm
on
gonna
that.
spoil
but
it for
please,
you.
Please.
So, Pierre Hermé, French pastry chef, taught me to make these chocolate cookies that I renamed World Peace cookies. So it's a chocolate dough. It's so hard because it doesn't have any eggs in it. So it's flour and cocoa and sugar, brown sugar and white sugar. And I'm a good student. You tell me what to do, I do it. He said, roll it into a log, chill it until it's really, really hard. You can put it in the freezer. I put it in the freezer. And then cut it. So you've got this dough. It is so hard. You're cutting it. It's got chunks of chocolate in it. The thing breaks apart. And I said, that's okay. That's okay. It breaks apart. And you can just like squeeze it together a little. It's fine.
You push it back together.
Yeah, and it's fine. And I've been making it like that for over 25 years. Fabulous cookies. About a month ago, someone wrote to me and said, it's a little bit like the pie dough thing.
Yeah.
She said, why can't you, I'm so embarrassed. I'm saying this now in front of the world. Why can't you cut the rounds of dough while the dough is soft and chill the rounds?
And chill it like that. Oh, no.
You know what? You can. And you should. And we all should have been doing this for 25 years.
Wow, that is full circle. Well, so you were starting off that story, and I was like, you're talking about like one of your most iconic cookies. I was like, you're not doing a good job of
Of selling it.
of disabusing me of the idea that you're an icon. But that is amazing. So, but that also ties so closely to you, and I've heard you say this many times of working with Julia, the idea that like working in food is the greatest, not just because food is wonderful to eat, but it is the greatest industry to work in because you are always learning.
That's what she said that to me in
Yeah.
the parking lot of a supermarket. The one day we played hooky, and her idea of playing hooky was to go to a supermarket.
Yeah.
But yes, I do think there's always something to learn.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that way too. It's, right?
Yeah, all the time. Like even when I'm here, this just like a random conversation in the hallway, you learn something. And that's how it is here, honestly. At America's Test Kitchen, conversations happen in the strangest places.
Yeah, it happens everywhere. Because it's just like this universal love of whatever it is we're making. But you can look at it from so many perspectives. I mean, you say you're not a science person, but you look at it from like a culture perspective, a history perspective,
Yes.
and just like
Yes.
there's so much
Yeah.
emotion to it. You can get really sciencey and geeky about it. But there's entry points for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great thing to have said. Yes. There is something for everyone in making food.
So, Dorie, I like to do this segment, which is a little bit silly. I call it the Ror-Snack Test. And so it's a series of questions. Instead of showing you ink blot images, I ask you some weird food questions to sort of dig in a little bit deeper on how your brain works. So they might seem a little off the wall, but I would like to engage you in the Ror-Snack Test.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So my first question for you is, so I get sort of obsessed. I love obsessing of stuff in the kitchen, but also like how people like physically eat things. I find really fascinating, like who uses their fork and knife differently and all this kind of stuff. But one that I talk about a lot is how people eat corn on the cob. So I'm curious, how do you physically eat your corn on the cob?
Not the way my husband does. It makes me crazy watching him eat corn on the cob.
Okay, how does he do it?
He goes,
She sighed.
The exact
Sigh.
no, I'm married to him for 1,000 years, but this is like, he goes across.
Oh my gosh, like a squirrel.
So that's the typewriter.
I thought typewriter. I didn't think
Like
squirrel.
squirrels go ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Yeah, that is the squirrel.
in the cartoons.
The squirrel or the typewriter. So yeah, so he goes across.
Wait a second. Now I'm trying to imagine Michael's a squirrel. Give me a minute. Ooh. Okay, so maybe it's worse than I thought. So, yeah, so he goes across.
Yes.
I start at the fat end of the corn
Yep.
Okay.
and make a circle
Okay.
and then move over to the next
section. So I've coined that the log runner, and that's also my technique. I'm a log runner. I don't think I know what you are.
So I don't like...
Oh, are you a squirrel?
No, I'm very different. I do not like things stuck in my teeth.
Okay.
It really bothers me. So I take a knife and slide it off, and then I eat it.
And then you eat
Well,
it.
then it's not corn on the cob anymore, is it?
I don't need to be that like close to it.
You know, like
Wait. Do you even in the like if my mother were at the sink having a persimmon, right? Would you be next to her if you were back to back and she couldn't see you? But this is like, we're making a little list of private eating habits. Would you eat it on the cob if no one were there, or is it really the physical
It's just
having?
like I don't like things
Yeah.
between my teeth.
yeah. I mean, we'll get stuck. That's definitely
Yeah.
true.
Wait, just one more corn on the cob.
Yeah. No, I can talk about this all day.
after you've log rolled,
Yes.
right? What do you do with the cob?
What do I do with the cob?
Yeah, are you finished with it, or?
I'm finished with it at that point. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh,
What do you
Don't
do?
you have to suck the cob and get all the good sweet corn juice? You don't want to leave that there.
You're a real
you really like corn,
aficionado.
huh?
That's amazing. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
So when I'm like cooking with it, I'm doing like a chowder. I'll cut the kernels off, and then I will use the back of the knife to sort of call
the
it milking.
juice. Yeah, milking, yeah.
Yeah, and get that off. But I love that you do it at the table. You're a real one.
I have a follow-up question on corn. Is that your favorite one? Because I know you've written articles about how to clean corn using
Yeah.
a bun pan.
Yeah.
So is it one of your favorite?
So we live in Connecticut, and there's a farm stand like 6 minutes from where we live. And in fact, we just had dinner with the farmer the other night, and I said, okay, July 4th. He said, yeah, we usually get our first corn July 4th.
I love it.
And so we have corn every night until it's no longer corn season.
I'm right there with you.
I love corn on the cob.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It is the best. Okay, so next question in the Ror-Snack Test is you have to complete this sentence. When life hands you lemons,
Oh, I know what I do with them. Is that what it is? I thought there was more.
no, it's a very short sentence that
Okay. So I do many things with lemons. It's one of my favorite fruits to cook with. But I do the smush thing,
yes,
right? So when you're baking, or even you can do it with salt, but you'd have to have a lot of salt. But so you if you have the sugar from the recipe, you just grate the. I'm doing this like you have to grate the lemon, right? Grate the zest right into the sugar, and then you reach in and you smush and mash and press the zest into the sugar so that all the oils get into the sugar. And it's just such a lovely moment. It's just like you can see, it's part of what I love about baking. It happens in cooking too, but where you really see things change.
Yeah.
And so the sugar gets moist. If you do it with an orange, it gets orange. But that wasn't your question, it was lemon. And then it just smells so good. Yeah, so when life gives me lemons, I smush.
you smush. That is perfect. I love that. Okay, and then this one, this may not even be hard for you. I was questioning whether You just be like, oh.
Oh, give me an easy question, please.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. So if you had to give up either vanilla or chocolate for the rest of your life, which would you do?
That's tough.
You're mean. So but you just made me think. I adore chocolate. I love chocolate, and I think that had you asked me years ago, I would have said, give up vanilla.
Yeah.
I am really appreciating vanilla more and more, and I'm using it more, and I'm using more of it. Is there like another question instead of this one? Do I have to answer this one?
For you, Dorie, we'll just call it a draw there. That you can have them both. What about you, Nick?
Good. Okay, so I'm more fruit forward. I love chocolate. Believe me, I go to bed at night. I have to have a square of chocolate.
Oh, so do I. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what would I do with vanilla? Okay, sorry. Yeah.
But the compromise is finding a bar with
Yep.
a little bit of vanilla in it, right?
Man, everyone's getting off easy today. But
This is a really hard question.
it is a very hard question.
I mean, if you had said like, rutabaga or
or chocolate.
yeah, that would have been a better question.
So you'd choose rutabaga, I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
Well, Dorie, I think you passed the Ror-Snack Test with flying colors.
Oh, yay.
Did a really wonderful job. This has been such an absolute treat to have you here in the test
Treat
kitchen.
for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for it was a treat, and it was treats that were really wonderful.
It's our pleasure.
Well, we'll get even older tea next time. We'll have you back, and we'll keep doing it. When is Anytime Cakes out?
October 21st. It's
October 21st,
just on the cusp. It's a Libra.
It's a Libra. I saw you mentioned one of your past books was a Scorpio, so
Yep.
it's a Libra.
Yep.
Okay, so look for the book in October.
Yes, please.
And head to DorieGreenspan.com. You have a wonderful newsletter, XOXO Dorie.
I love writing that newsletter.
Yeah, and you're fabulous on social media, so plenty of ways to interact with Dorie. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Group hug.
Your bug. Thank you, Dorie.
Thank you.